We're back now at 7:41 with a video that's kind of taking the internet by storm. It shows the reunion between a man and an old friend in the West African jungle of Gabon, 5 years after they'd last seen each other. And it's a meeting that really has to be seen to be believed. Damien Aspinall has always had a special bond with gorillas. He grew up with them on his family's 90-acre wild animal park in the south of England. On a recent trip to return 3 baby gorillas to the wild in Africa, the conservationist had a reunion even he wasn't prepared for.
I got in the boat with my brother and we went up and down the river for several hours.
Damien was determined to find Quibi.
I have this call for the gorillas.
A gorilla he reared by hand in England.
Come on! Turned around the corner and there was this magnificent, now 10-year-old gorilla. And, you know, he hadn't seen me for 5 years. But he'd heard my voice and he came to the edge of the river. And as I sort of clambered over the top, I was a little concerned. But the moment I heard this deep love, rumbling gurgle, I knew then that I was okay. He looked in my eyes with such intensity and such love, and it was an incredible experience, and we just sat there together sort of drunk on each other. He embraced me like a long lost friend, and it was just beautiful. And he slowly introduced his wives who came to see me, and he wouldn't let me go. Scrambled off to get some raisins, and I managed to clamber back in the boat. To my amazement, he then followed the boat all the way back to our camp. And on the other side of the river, he then nested his family. At 6 o'clock in the morning, I got up and went for a swim in the river. And, you know, there he appeared on the edge of the river.
Quibi, he's a lovely boy. I can see you.
Just shows what a remarkable animal these gorillas are and what a remarkable animal Quibi is.
Damien Aspinall is with us now. He's the head of the Aspinall Foundation, a wild animal conservation organization. Damien, good morning. What great video.
I know, very special.
It really, when you start calling Quibi, first of all, can you give me the call? What were you saying? I don't mean to put you on the spot.
Well, you are. I have a call with the animals. Come on, come on. And they hear my call and they respond to that call.
So you see Quibi, now 10. You hadn't seen him in 5 years. I think that first step out of the boat would have been the one that makes me nervous, because you can't be 100% sure of what response you're going to get from a wild animal.
I wasn't 100% sure. You never know. He is a wild animal now. But, you know, deep inside, you believe that things will be okay.
And you got close, and it was clear. You say, I liked when you say we almost got drunk on each other. You looked in his eyes. You could tell that there were incredible memories that he had of you.
Well, you know, the moment I heard the gurgle, and the gorillas have a gurgle, and it's a very deep love gurgle, the moment I heard that, I knew I'd be okay. And, you know, right at that moment, everything stopped, and the sounds of the leaves in the forest stopped, and the sounds of the river stopped, and I was just captivated in that moment.
I don't know why this sticks in my mind, Damien, but that gorilla couldn't have... I mean, after 5 years in the wild, what's the smell of that gorilla? That has to be a pungent odor embracing that gorilla.
I have to say, I love the smell of gorilla.
You do?
Honestly,
never bothers you?
Never bothers me.
Were you at all worried, not about Quibi, but that another wild gorilla might not think this reunion was quite so heartwarming and do something?
That's actually correct. I was far more worried that one of the wives would be protective over Quibi.
You grew up with these animals. I mean, we mentioned your father had this incredible place in England. From what I understand, as a baby, you were actually placed in the arms, in the hands of a female gorilla. It was almost a rite of passage in your family.
That's correct. I was brought up with gorillas. In fact, I was brought up with lots of animals. When I was a little boy, all the animals lived in the house with us, and I'd open my bedroom door, and tigers and gorillas and wolves would all jump on the bed.
And it's something that you've carried on with your own family.
I have. I take my young children in and my daughters in with the gorillas.
How hard was it to leave when you have this reunion? No one knows more about these animals than you do, so you know they are wild animals, and the whole purpose is to return them to the wild. But still, it has to be hard not knowing when you'll get to see, or if you'll get to see, this particular gorilla again.
Well, you know, I go to Gabon 3 or 4 times a year, so I'm always hopeful I can see him. But it's no different to if you go and see a friend of yours in another country and you meet and you have a reunion and then you have to go on your separate lives again. And you know, I always feel I'll see him again.
Is it safe, though, for this gorilla to become so familiar with you again? Are there threats to him and the other gorillas if he gets too comfortable around human beings?
He's familiar with me, but not familiar with other human beings, which is the way it should be.
I mentioned you run this wildlife organization. What do you want people to know about Quibi and other gorillas?
Well, look, you know, I hope that when people see this, that they'll realize that you know, animals deserve their chance, and it just shows how gentle gorillas can be. And I think, you know, we have a responsibility to this earth, and I think we can, as a species, do so much more for this planet. And I believe that, and I hope we're trying to do a little bit of that.
So you want people who see this perhaps on this show or YouTube not to look at this as just a cute video. You'd like it to be thought-provoking as well.
I would hope so. I mean, I would hope it would lead the way and people can, you know, really maybe begin to make a change.
Well, it's amazing stuff. Damien Aspinall. Damien, it's nice to meet you.
Absolute pleasure.
Thanks so much.